Alright, what's up, guys? I just got finished watching the movie Us by Jordan King and Peele, my dog from the Jordan King and Peele show. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things I noticed in the movie just from like a African American experience from my personal perspective. And just going to just list down a couple of things and key cultural Easter eggs, I like to call them, that I just noticed at the movie. And the very first thing I've noticed in the beginning of the movie was like the big display of rabbits that were actually shown during the intro. And in that part I noticed that there was only one black rabbit out of all the characters of all the white rabbits inside there. And my interpretation of that is that we as a people, we're only about 10% of the actual US population. Aside from that, then another thing I noticed also too, like later on in the movie, was the like microaggression between Zora and the two twin sisters out on the beach when they asked her, "Hey, how come you can't swim? Why don't you like the water?" Pretty much that was just referring to the microaggression that African American women don't like to swim in water because it messes up their hair. And she felt insulted that she had to actually explain to the two Tyler sisters about it. Another thing that's prominent, super prominent in the movie, and I myself witnessed this with my cousins, my aunt, my grandma, my mama, that the African American matriarchal family structure in the movie. I mean, you can notice it all over the movie. Like, for example, when the guy, what's the brother name? Gabe. The brother Gabe, when he bought the boat, she was like, "Nope, that boat sucks." When Gabe was trying to go in and like save the family, she was like, I'm in charge. I'm black and I'm black in charge, and you need to sit down. And the brother himself was like the byproduct of like the whole matriarchal upbringing. I mean, he was probably raised by his mama, and she probably did the same thing as well. I mean, come on, like she totally bitched that guy the whole movie, and the guy honestly was just like a slouch potato, and his kill count was probably the lowest in the whole movie. So there's probably reasons why she did that, and the guy just made every situation worse though. But I mean, he's just the byproduct of like the African American matriarchy. So more to that like actual topic in later movies. Yeah, I think that's it. But not later movies, later videos in my channel explaining that. What I want to also just emphasize right now is just the clones of the family members. The first thing I want to notice off from the clones of the family members is that Zoras, after the microaggression at the beach, Zora's clone actually had straight hair. Not only straight hair, but she smiled, which, if you guys haven't noticed, Zora didn't really smile much or even portray really positive attitudes throughout the movie, which the clone portrayed those. And also the clone also acted on and did the fallen dream of Zora and all the other cast members as well. As far as she quit running, she didn't like track and field, but the clone loved running, loved track and field, and had straight hair. So and excelled at it. Seriously though, I mean, that clone was really tracked up. Another thing also as well with Gabe's clone, what I noticed with Gabe's clone though was that he was strong, kind of like alpha-ish. I mean, just really simple, simplex. I mean, he's probably like the simplistic clone in the whole movie. Like he essentially was just the strong, primitive caveman clone. I mean, even like the white family, the Taylor families The husband's clone, he had personality. He had swag. You saw him like slick his hair to the back, like pull the hand out, and let it go when the one like original wife was dying. I mean, that guy had some corral. But as far as Gabe's clone, it was just I mean, it was like the Fred Flintstone of the clones. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But what I also noticed about the clone was that when Gabe actually like talked about buying and money and giving, that's when the clone actually reacted. Like I noticed that. Like, remember the part when he said about the ATM? Me and Gabe's like, I'll go down to the ATM, and the clone's like, ah! And it's like, the family the whole time was just telling him to shut up. But the one clone I didn't get a really good analysis of was the whole Gabe's son clone. What's the name of the son? Jason. There we go. Jason's clone. Actually, I mean, you can only really to tell the clones like meeting by how the mother treated Jason, and the contrast between Jason and how Adeline, the mother, treated Zora. I mean, and the way it is it was kind of like portraying the matriarchal thing, like the family at the dinner. She told Zora that she could be anything. But what's up, man? But at the same time, telling the son and to be careful, be cautious, coddle him, made him at ease, told him not to be away from arm's length, pretty much emasculating them, and kind of like the cycle of the matriarchal system that we have in the African American community that turns these men into soft mama's boy, just like the guy Gabe on the couch. I mean, that's the byproduct of that. And then at the same time, teaching the daughter, strong, take charge principles that you see you guys probably see, like the classic, like DMV, Soul Sister, snap her neck around, twist her pearl type attitude, like that's exactly how that attitude comes up in fruition, like from our family dynamic though. But the next thing I actually want to talk about too, which was pretty interesting. I mean, I always thought like the clones in the beginning were actually in the mind. They were like systematically in the mind of these individuals, but it was already proof that they weren't fictional or in the mind, just based on that the other clone, Zora's clone, stabbed the neighbor with the scissors. So these aren't like individually just their demons, I guess. In a way, you could actually say that they're visible, tangible, and they're real. I mean, they're actually not figments of imagination, though, which we already knew that, though. So, next thing, scene I want to talk about really, and how I interpreted it before, was the Zora. When Zora killed herself and grabbed the scissors and used them. Just at that point, that was just a scene, just telltale hitting that like she was actually the real American the whole time, and the actual clone wasn't the clone; it was the original, who was left out as a child when Adeline went down to the mirrors room the first time. That's why she was the only one that was able to talk, because she grew up young around the environment, and she was able to mimic the language. That's why in the beginning you saw the girl, she was real quiet and she seemed dramatized, but she wasn't dramatized. She just didn't need the language though. She was just trying to, submerge in the surroundings and stuff. Like she played us good. I actually thought for a second there that they did a switcheroo at the end, but nah, after evaluating that, Zora, the one that we see in the movie, the one that we see throughout, is the one from the sewers and was switched off, while the one that we saw in the room in the beginning was the one that was the real one who got lost at the boardwalk. And that is why she knows the language. So that, I mean, it was a little clear and confusing at first, but after a while of actually evaluating it, that's the actual truth, guys. And another thing that I've noticed in the movie, though, was that all the other reflections were white people. All of them. And even the ones in the semicircle, guys. Even the one in the semicircle. It was almost as if like they were trying to signify that America was one, under one, by white people, representing that they instilled and damaged themselves through diversity. I don't know. I don't know how you would interpret that, though. I mean, maybe you guys could tell me in the comment section like what you guys' interpretation of that was, but I had no clue how to interpret that. I mean, I guess united by white. I don't know. I mean, Jordan Peele got some crazy mind. You know, you guys all know watching Key and Peele like how creative Peele could be when it comes to thinking up all these stuff. The guy's a madman, you know. But aside from that, I didn't really notice anything much in the movie. I thought it was a great cinematic piece, though. I mean, I don't think it was as good as Get Out, per se. Thank you very much for listening to my video today. Drop a like button, put some comments. Tell me what you guys thought about the movie and your interpretation about it. This is Marquez, about to clock out, and peace.
Creep on in, on in, on in.